Hola, bienvenidos. Característica física, which means physical characteristic. What a person looks like. Now, for this, do you think we use ser or estar? When saying a person looks a certain way, he is tall, do we use ser or estar? It's ser. These are things that are relatively unchanging. Things like your hair color, if you're old or young. Yes, they do change after a long period of time. Don't come for me, but we use ser because these are seen as things that are more unchanging. Whereas your emotions change rather quickly, how you look doesn't change as quickly, right? Okay. Our first vocabulary word is bello or bella. This means pretty or beautiful. Bello, bello, bello. Atractivo, atractivo, atractivo. Attractive, atractivo o atractiva. Alto, alto, alto. Tall, alto o alta. Corto, corto, corto. Short, corto o corta. Delgado, delgado, delgado. Thin or skinny. Delgado o delgada. Gordo, gordo, gordo. Fat, gordo o gorda. Hermoso, hermoso, hermoso. Gorgeous or beautiful. Hermoso o hermosa. Feo, feo, feo. Ugly, feo o fea. Musculoso, musculoso, musculoso. Muscular, musculoso o musculosa. Guapo, guapo, guapo. Good looking. Guapo o guapa. Moreno o morena. This means brunette. Moreno, moreno. Morena, morena. Now you might be wondering why we have the el and the la here. That's because when we are using this in a sentence, we might call someone la morena, which means the brunette woman, or el moreno, the brunette man, right? Moreno and morena work much the same as brunette does in English. Same as our next word, rubio, or rubia, which is blonde. If you want to say I am blonde, it would be soy rubia for me because I'm a female. Rubio if you're a male. Rubio, rubio, rubia, rubia. Saying el rubio on its own means the blonde man, or la rubia is the blonde woman. This doesn't apply to all hair colors though, however, because then we have ones like pelo canoso, pelo canoso, pelo canoso. Gray hair, pelo canoso. Also, pelo rojo, pelo rojo, pelo rojo. Red hair, pelo rojo. Now, pelo can be replaced with caballo for both of these. It's totally common, especially in Latin America, but for our purposes, to make things easier, we'll just stick with pelo because I believe it's the easier of the two words. Pelo canoso, pelo rojo. For these two, instead of using ser, you use tener. The same as saying, I have red hair. You would say, tengo pelo rojo. I have red hair. You can't use it the same way as rubio or moreno. These are things that you are. You are brunette. You are blonde. But for gray hair and red hair, those are things that you have. Tengo pelo canoso. Tengo pelo rojo. ¿Entiendes? Do you understand? We'll practice this a little bit more later. Next we have pálido. 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 Pale. Pálido. O pálida. Ojos. Ojos, and then you need to add a color here. So I have blue eyes. So I would say ojos azules. Ojos azules. It can't be ojos azul because we are making it plural. Okay? This is the object and the adjective needs to match it. The adjective, the describing word, needs to match the object or the subject. Okay? So because this is plural, the adjective also needs to be plural. Ojos azules. Try that with your own eye color. Next we have joven. 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 Young. Joven. Mayor o viejo. Mayor. Mayor. Viejo. Viejo. O vieja. So both of these mean old. Unlike previous vocabulary we've come across that uses two different words depending on the country, these, it matters less what country you're in and more the mood of the person speaking. Here in Spain, I've heard people use viejo and mayor. It just sort of depends on how they feel like saying it, how it comes out. So really you can choose either one. I find it's better to use viejo as sort of a general rule. You can use mayor, but if you want to say something like I am old, it's better to say soy viejo. Or in my case, soy vieja, because I'm a woman. Though I'm not old. Thank you very much. Moving on. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, some of these use ser and some of these use tener. So I want to explain to you which ones use which. So ser is pretty self-explanatory. This is I am, you are, she is, he is, we are, y'all are, they are, beautiful, pretty, attractive, tall, short, skinny, fat, gorgeous, ugly, muscular, all of those, right? And you use ser for moreno, rubio, blonde, brunette. That's very important. But tener is also used when describing people. So as I mentioned, pelo canoso, pelo rojo are used for tener. I have gray hair. I have red hair. It's also used for eye color, much like we use in English, like saying, I have blue eyes. In English, you can say, I'm blue-eyed, but it doesn't sound as natural as saying, I have blue eyes. Works the same in Spanish. Tengo ojos azules. I have blue eyes. But one thing that's different in Spanish that we really don't do in English is that edad, or age, is used with tener. In English, age is something that you are. I am 24. But in Spanish, it's something that you have. So instead of saying soy 24, you have to say tengo. Tengo 24 años. I have 24 years. Very often when Spanish speakers learn English, you'll hear them say something like, I have 24 years. because that's the direct translation from Spanish. And vice versa, when English speakers learn Spanish, many times you'll hear them say, soy 24 or estoy 24. And it's just not correct in either language. You have to know that it switches. So age in English would be I am, but in Spanish it is I have. This is definitely something really important to know and something to practice. It doesn't only apply to you, it applies to everybody. Ella tiene 30 años. She has 30 years. But as we would say in English, she is 30 years old. Are you a little confused? Don't worry. Let's practice. So I want you to practice describing yourself. I want you to say your name, your age, and then I want you to give 4 words to describe yourself. It's not enough to say, for example, Isabela, 24, corta, delgada, like that. You need to form sentences. Practice forming sentences. Make it all connect. Pretend this is an introduction. Go ahead and pause the video and try and practice this. Don't just say the sentence one time. Say it 3 or 4 times. Say it enough times that when you do it, it sounds a lot more fluent, a lot more natural. Give it a go. Let me show you what I wrote. This is how I would say it. Hola, me llamo Isabela. Tengo 24 años y ojos azules. Soy rubia, corta, joven y delgada. What does this translate to? Can you translate this? This is the very literal translation. Hello, I call myself Isabella. I have 24 years and blue eyes. I'm blonde, short, young, and thin. How we would say this in English is, hello, my name is Isabella. I'm 24. I have blue eyes. I'm blonde, short, young, and thin. If this is not how you structured your sentences, go back and give it another try. If this is how you structured your sentences, great job. Let's move on. So, one more thing we're going to learn today is the question, ¿Cómo es él o cómo es ella? Which means, what does he or she look like? Literally, this means, how is he or she? But it's not asking what their mood is. That would be, ¿Cómo está? We're using es. This is where ser and estar are very important. So, ¿Cómo es él, ella? What does he or she look like? Let's practice. I would like you to describe someone in your life. Go ahead and pause the video and form sentences much like what we did to describe yourself. But instead, I would like you to describe someone in your life. A boyfriend, girlfriend, a regular friend, your brother, sister, mother, father. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But just try to describe somebody else. And remember to use this form of ser, not soy, right? Go ahead and pause the video and give it a go. How did you do? I chose to describe my boyfriend, so I'm going to show you what that looks like. Hola, se llama José. Tiene 21 años y ojos marrones. Él es rubio, alto, hermoso y pálido. Can you translate this into English? It says, hello, his name is José. He is 21 and has brown eyes. He is blonde, tall, beautiful, and pale. I'm not sure he would be totally pleased with this description, but es lo que hay. It is what it is. If this is how you structured your sentences, great job. If not, go ahead and give it another try. These are really important to learn because this is our base for being able to structure more complicated sentences in the future. All right?